Americans are complaining about the price of everything from T-bone steak to hamburger. But in this working-class community on the south side of Chicago, these people worry about the rising cost of economy meats. Pig's feet, cooked with black-eyed peas, replace steak in many households. But now the price of pig's feet has jumped 57% in the last year. Cracklings, small chunks of pork skin, leftovers of rendered lard, are cooked in cornbread and substitute for meat too. Many butcher shops used to give it away, but now the price is 49 cents a pound. And the same goes for other economy meats.
These prices are terrible. Like pigtails, neck bones, these are the things I must buy because they are the cheapest things. We must have some meat.
What do you think about the price of neck bones now?
Ridiculous. They used to be 19, they went up to about 23. Last time I bought some, it was 39. I bought some this week, 55 cents a pound. And there's hardly any meat on them. They're very good, but it's not much meat on them. 55 cents a pound for bones, practically.
Economy meats are big business. This store alone sells almost 40,000 pounds of neck bones yearly and about 24,000 pounds of ham hocks. As steak prices have risen, the market for economy meats has increased. But now, prices for economy meat products are on the rise too, only this time there are no alternative meat products. Randy Daniels, CBS News, Chicago.
Looked all over the place for a babysitter. Couldn't find one anywhere.
James Rodney Richard and his family share a lot of other problems with other young American families. Among them, the treadmill exercise of moving a career fast enough to keep up with grocery bills and the price of baby shoes. 4 years ago, just tasting the bright icing of promise, James stood in a pasture by his house, listening to his advisor outline a future which could contain college, pro baseball, or both, while his brothers and sisters played the games that come before decisions are needed. At Grambling, Louisiana's Lincoln High, James, 6'8" and 220 pounds, was a triumph of strength over technique, and the glint of gold in the rough ore of his talent brought crowds of scouts and at last a $40,000 bonus from the Houston Astros as second schoolboy draft pick in the country. Starting in the bushes with the Cocoa Florida farm team, Richard patiently fired the ball at an auto tire in an effort to bridle his lightning, and despite a poor one-loss record, displayed again the whip-crack ways with a baseball which kept his name in large letters in the ledgers back at Houston. In his second season, he vaulted to Oklahoma City in the top minors and seemed to be achieving the blend of delicacy and power which makes a great pitching motion a work of art, swirled for a moment before the wondering eye. He appeared the best of all those waiting in the wings.
When my time coming, I'm going, you know, and I'm not no hurry. When I go up there, I want to stay. I don't want to come back, you know. But I do feel like I can play in the big leagues.
This spring, however, James Richard fights the clouds of doubt. Late in the season of '71, he made a memorable major league debut by striking out 15 Giants. Subsequently, the Houston brass decreed that the power still needed polish and sent him back to Oklahoma City at the beginning of 1972.
So I was very angry at the fact that I got sent down. They told me that I need to work on my control. And I worked on it. I've been getting the ball over the plate this year. I think I'm pretty good. I'm ready.
This spring, he seems to be getting somewhat more freewheeling advice from manager Leo DeRocher.
I want him to just take the ball and fire it as hard as he can and not what we call throw darts. And he can make this ball club. He's got a big league arm if he will just concentrate and throw the ball over the plate and not worrying about being wild.
Just a few things that I have to perfect, they say, in certain categories. And I know in some pitches I'm not really cutting a loose, and some pitches I am cutting a loose. It's my rhythm. My rhythm is not really perfected as I want it to be.
I don't think he can monkey with a curveball and change of pace and that kind of stuff. He's got as good a fastball as any man wants to have. Let him throw that and get that over the plate.
Major league teams may send their prospects out 3 times at the end of an option string, and management contends that Richard might just need more of the grind of steady lower-level work. To the 23-year-old Richard, looking fiercely upward in aspiration, that string seems more like a noose that throttles hope and the thought of another try-again trip is intolerable. It is an acid-edged irony that he finds himself teaching while waiting for his diploma.
You throwing from up here?
What'll you do if they send you down again?
Well, I'll be mad again, which wouldn't help, really, and if I could get a chance to play with another ball club and see that I could pitch, I wouldn't be disappointed at all. I think it probably would help me because Scipio Spinks, he was also a good pitcher over here, and they said that he needed control, and certain people say that he couldn't pitch in the big leagues because he didn't have any control. And they traded him, and he was doing real well with St. Louis.
So if they don't want you here, you'd rather go somewhere else?
Yes, I'd rather pitch somewhere else if I'm not wanted here. And I think it'll probably do me good and better my chances.
In the spring, the calloused fingers of old ball players give them a good grip on twilight time. Those years they steal from the anxious, wet-handed young, trying to push their way to prominence. It sometimes seems to the impatient Richard that the stubborn veterans will never step aside and give him a clear shot at the big rock candy pitcher's mound of stardom. Trying to get there, he shows an increasing desperation, which may lead to a breakthrough or to the awkward inefficiency which sometimes hobbles the angry.
Now pitching for the Astros, number 50, James Richard.
This is Haywood Hale Broun in Cocoa, Florida.